Kovach, the Associate Program Director for the Blue Ridge Music Center. I'd like to welcome you to the discussion series of Place in the Band, Women in Bluegrass and American Roots Music. This series is part of a project by the Blue Ridge Music Center that began in 2020 to honor the 100th anniversary of women being granted the right to vote. A Place in the Band celebrates the triumphs and explores the struggles faced by women in bluegrass and American roots music. In this discussion series, North Carolina singer-songwriter and social activist Laurelyn Dossett speaks with women in the music business, including musicians and others involved in music management and promotion roles. Through these conversations, the women share their stories, talking about their role models, mentors, and inspirations, experiences with people they've worked with, issues they've encountered that are specific to women in the industry, changes they've seen over the years, and other parts of their own personal journeys that have helped them to be who they are today. These individual stories shows the collective strength and future possibilities for women in bluegrass and American roots music. I hope you enjoy the series, and thank you for joining us.
No conversation about women in bluegrass music would be complete without our next guest, Laurie Lewis. Laurie is a singer, a songwriter, a fiddler, a multi-instrumentalist, really. She's a producer, she's an educator, she's a band leader. Laurie does it all. She's also won multiple Grammys and has several times been named IBMA's Female Vocalist of the Year. She's going to share some stories with us about her early days in her career and also about some new projects and young musicians who are coming along and inspiring her now. My name's Laurelyn Dossett, and here's Laurie Lewis.
So I think built into this conversation and this whole symposium is the assumption that being a woman somehow made your path different than it might have been had you been a man. Do you think of that at all, or do you have a...
Very different in many ways. I mean, this was like in the 1970s, you know, when I went, not when I made the commitment to actually only play music, but when I started playing in bands around the Bay Area. One of the bands that I started with my women friends was the Good Old Persons, and it started out being all women. We were just going to get together a good set of music to play at Paul's Saloon on jam night, and that was it. That was our goal. And we did that. We played our set on jam night. We immediately got hired by the owner, by Paul Lampert, and then we had to learn a whole night's worth of material. And then we were asked to play over at the Freight and Salvage in Berkeley, which was at the time was a tiny club, 75 people or something like that.
Right.
But because we were all women, it got written up in the Oakland Tribune. And on our first night playing for a listening audience like that, we had an audience that stretched out around the corner.
Wow.
To get in. And so, number one of the things that was different is an all men band would not have had that media impact immediately,
right,
which we did because it was a novelty.
Right.
But on the other hand, there was when I became like full-time professional musician and had a booking agent and things like that, things would happen like, she would pitch me for a festival and they would say, well, we already have our girl band. We already have our girl fiddler, which often was Alison Krauss, and she, that's great.
Right.
But the assumption that one girl fiddler is like another girl fiddler and you can only have one of them at a festival is just, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And I am sorry to say how often I've heard that story,
Oh yeah, it's rampant. And actually it happened to me for a festival booking about 5 years ago, which is pretty recent.
Right.
I mean, my band wanted to play on a particular day at the festival, and I was told, no, we can't have you on that day because we have Claire Lynch on that day. As if, we can't have Tony Rice because we're already having Larry Sparks, you know?
Right. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not that I'm comparing Claire and me to Tony and Larry, but
No, I get the analogy, but so I've had some similar experiences. How did you react? Did you?
well, and that I did say, you know, you could really, you know what you're doing. You're this is an incredible stereotype you're doing, and you could really make a step forward and you know, be at the forefront of booking if you just changed your mind about this. And he just laughed, you know. And it's fine. We're friends. I didn't expect.
Yeah.